Hey everyone, welcome back to Lyrical Resonance, where we believe that where words fail, music speaks. Here we are, last track of Buried Above's album. So excited. This has been such a great journey, and it's been amazing taking a deep dive into every one of these songs. Just been a ton of fun. Anyway, this is the song Divide featuring Aaron Ray. I'm pretty sure I know Aaron Ray. I think I know some of his stuff. I've never featured any of it on the channel. Maybe I'll have to. I don't know. But either way, I'm excited to see what Buried Above and Aaron Ray are going to bring to us. This is, like I said, last track. So without further ado, let's just get to this. If this is your first time watching the video, thank you so much. I really appreciate you taking the time. If you like what you see when this is all over, hit the like button. Maybe leave a comment or two telling me your thoughts. And if you really enjoyed it, hit subscribe to stay up to date with further videos, because where words fail, music does speak. And we're going to continue listening to what it has to say. So let's do that now through Buried Above and their song Divide. Whew. Well, this is different. Man, so different. Hey, Aaron. Wow. Come on. Dude, okay, so it's I'm hooked immediately because I love hip hop and rock mixed together. I think that's such a fun mesh of sound, and this is done very well. I think Aaron feels very comfortable with this kind of track, and it shows, right? So really good right in that. But these lyrics are so interesting. Wow, I'll deep dive into it, but it kind of talks about what it's like to when you come to know Jesus, right? Or at least that's what I'm seeing initially. Like, I was so blind that I couldn't see on top of the mountain. You gave it all for me. And then Aaron goes on to say, looking back on this night that I could never forget, the day I felt my heart slide out of my chest, I saw your eyes as you cried. I heard the things that you said. Took a little time to understand what you meant. But it's, then he says, I can't believe I lied to you. I tried to hide what you already knew out of excuses, nothing to prove. It's not easy to confess, but I'm going to start here with you. I'm going to start confessing you. Basically, like, my past has been stripped away from me and laid bare in front of you. I've got nothing to hide, so I'm gonna just confess you. I think that's just really good. You hear the chorus from the inside. I hear you calling my name. There's nothing left to hide. I'm reaching out for your grace. You've torn out the lies written on the wall. You're breaking through the divide to rise above it all. And so that kind of, like, in my mind, speaks to the work of the Holy Spirit. As you know, for those who don't know Christ, as the Holy Spirit works inside of us, shifting us, nudging us, drawing us to Him. Right, like, this is an interesting way to kind of describe that. Like, from the inside, I hear you calling my name. Like, you've torn down these lies that I put up, right? And so I just, man, deep stuff. Maybe I'm making it deeper, but that's what I get. Anyway, I backed up. We're gonna keep going. I don't know if I'll stop again. Maybe not. Whatever. We're gonna get through this. Here we go.
Love's flowing like a fountain, on display for the world to see. My trust, you died and gave it all for me. I never want to go back to who I used to be. Just when all hope was faded, and I'd given up on waiting, you reached into the darkness, it brought me back to life. My trust, you died and gave it all for me. I never want to go back to who I used to be. I never want to go back to who I used to be. From the inside, I hear you calling my name. There's nothing left to hide. I'm reaching out for your grace. You've torn out the lies written on the wall. You're breaking through the divide to rise above it all. In this moment, I feel alive. In your presence, I will rise. Taking up the cross I've denied. In your presence, I will rise. In this moment, I feel alive. In your presence, I will rise. Taking up the cross I've denied. In your presence, I will
That was cool.
Nothing left to hide. I'm reaching out for your grace. You've torn out the lies written on the wall. You're breaking through the divide to rise above it. In your presence, I will rise. Taking up the cross I've denied. In your presence, I will rise. In this moment, I feel alive. In your presence, I will rise. Taking up the cross I've denied. In your presence, I will rise.
Oh man, this is awesome. I've had so much fun going through this whole album and recording these videos like one after the other over the course of just the last few days. It's been so much fun, and I'm really impressed by this. This song is good. I really enjoyed it. Again, kind of like with Sweet Misery, this is not my favorite on the album, but it is very good, and I like how different it is, because it's like the verses are very like, they've got this like, I don't know, I'm gonna get this wrong, but it's almost like minor key playing where it sounds more down and aggressive, but then you get to the chorus, and the chorus feels like it's in a major key, and it feels much more hopeful and much more like, I don't know, it just feels much more like, I don't know what word I'm looking for. It just feels more hopeful. It feels more like joyous, I guess, right? But I really dig it. I loved Aaron's feature, man. He killed it. That was so good. But it's not my favorite. I enjoy it. I really enjoyed it. Lyrically, I love this idea of going back and looking at who we were and looking at who we are now and seeing what Jesus has done in our lives, seeing the way God has worked, the way he's moved, the way he's helped and healed and corrected, and being able to give thanks for that. Like, that to me is huge. It's so important. Like, I'm not where I want to be, but thank God I'm not where I was, right? That is such a big thing. So important to remember to thank God for what he's done in your lives, and to remember that, and not just to pray and hope for the best, and only pray when things are sour, but man, thank him when things are good too. Thank him for the things he's done. Thank him for the corrections. I know so many people that nobody likes correction, right? But when we get through the correction process and we can see what it was for, I don't know many people that go back and thank God for that correction process. I'll give you an interesting story that kind of exemplifies that. When I was in high school, my mom found out that I was smoking, right? And long story short, because of her help and her care and her willingness to make me uncomfortable and correct my behavior, I was able to stop, right? And quit that habit. And again, I'm not going to say it's a salvation issue. I don't think it is. However, I do think it's dangerous, and I think it's bad for your health. All that aside, I'm so grateful that my mom found out. Like, even today, I'm 31. I'm so grateful that my mom found out that when I was in high school, I was smoking, because I stopped because of her, right? And so there's correction's never fun when you're in it, but it's so important that we understand why we're going through correction. It's so important that we understand that when God is shifting us, when he's changing us and shaping us into who he wants us to be, who he created us to be, it may not always be comfortable, but we can trust him, trust that because he took care of our greatest problem, which is our sinful nature. He took care of the sin that held us captive by dying on the cross in our place. We can trust him as he guides us and corrects us and walks us through life. Like, this was really good. I really enjoyed this a lot. I would give this song a 9 out of 10 very easily as a rating on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being terrible, 10 being amazing. It gets a 9. 9 is very good. I love this a lot. So good. Anyway, let me know what you thought about the song. What's your take on the lyrics? What do you think about it, and why? I want to hear from you. Where would you rank it? Right? Tell me that. And if there are any songs you think I should get into, let me know that as well in the comments. Or you can email me at lyrical.resonance.ia@gmail.com. Or you can find me on Facebook through the link in the description. Either way, this was really good. This whole album has been phenomenal. I'm really, really enjoying all of this. I make every year a top 10 albums of the year list, and I thought I had it all figured out. But now, after going through this, I can confidently say that it is in direct competition with one other album for album of the year. This is a phenomenal album. I could not encourage you more strongly to go get it for yourself, because it's so very good, so cohesive, and it just has such a good sound. And the story it tells of surrender, fighting to be free from our addictions, and this idea of worshiping God for who he is and his goodness. It's so huge. And I love that we have a rock band very similar to Disciple, that is pushing that really hard. I love that so much. Anyway, that's going to do it. Anyway, like I said, I'm beside myself. Tell me your thoughts on the song. Tell me your where you'd rank it. And then we'll just end there. All right. Thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate you taking the time. If you enjoyed what you saw, I'd ask you very simply to like the video, leave a couple comments, even if you're just saying hi or telling me a song to look into or telling me your thoughts on this one. And if you really enjoyed this journey we've been on, I'd ask you hit the subscribe button to stay up to date with further videos, because where words fail, music does speak, and we're going to continue exploring what the music has to say here at Lyrical Resonance. But until the next video, wherever I find you next, as always, stay safe and be blessed. We'll see you soon.